I was thinking about what I would do if I were competing with Michael Phelps and wanted to sabotage his success. I came up with a strategy. First, I would jam his schedule with meetings and conference calls from sunup to sundown. I would keep the agendas nebulous. I would invite as many people as possible to the meetings to ensure meandering conversation. And I would start all of them 10 to 15 minutes late. Second, I would assault his inbox with hundreds of emails a day and make sure he knows that the expectation is that he respond to every single one of them within a couple of hours. Third, I would have fast and frequent changes to his priorities. On Sunday, I'd tell him that the most important thing for this week is to practice breathing exercises. That's the most important thing. Then on Wednesday morning, I'd say, actually, the most important thing is to practice kick turns, and we need to do this today or there'll be horrible consequences. What about breathing exercises? Yeah, those are also the most important thing. I figure within a couple of years, he would be so burnt out that he would lose the desire to swim at all. And if I'm really good, after a couple more years, he would forget that he ever had the talent in the first place. I think most of you would agree that this is not a bad strategy for sabotaging Michael Phelps' success. From keeping an individual with world-class talent from achieving world-class accomplishments. And yet in the business world, this is really what we call just a normal workday. Anyone who has achieved success in any area has done so because they have become world-class at a particular talent. And this is true in business as much as in Olympic sports. And yet the way our days are designed, it's almost set up to sabotage our own ability and our team's abilities from achieving world-class success. So what do? Well, first, I think it's important that you think about yourself as an Olympic athlete, as someone with a talent that can become world-class. And be intentional about setting aside blocks of time for focused practice on honing that skill that you need to become world-class at what you do. And be vigilant about where you're spending your time frivolously. Just because you're invited to a meeting or conference call doesn't mean that you must attend. Ask yourself, will the result of the meeting be worse if I am not there? Will I be worse off if I'm not in attendance? Will our service suffer if I'm not in attendance? If the answer is no to all of those, you can suggest that perhaps your attendance is not necessary. So be intentional about practicing and honing your skill. Be vigilant about where the time is not being spent effectively. Consider yourself like a world-class athlete in the making, and you can achieve world-class success. That's all for this week. Talk to you soon.